Good day, everyone. Let us discuss estate taxation part 3. This material is shared to us by a well-known reviewer and author in taxation, Assistant Professor Enrico D. Tabag. So what are the inclusions and exclusions from gross estate? The components of gross estate, there are three main components. No? Properties of the decedent that are physically present in the estate. So these are the tangible properties, no, movable, okay, properties or immovable properties, no, real properties and personal properties. Okay. We also have decedent's interest. Say for example, we have the share of the decedent in the profit of a partnership. Okay, o kaya naman yung tinatawag nating dividend from investment in stocks or any fruits, okay? Civil or natural fruit from a usufructuary right. Okay, so these are decedent's interest. Properties not physically present in his estate. It means that there are properties that were transferred during the lifetime of the decedent, but it should be included still in the gross estate. Say, for example, okay, the transfer in contemplation of death, no, naibenta niya with the driving factor na mamamatay na kasi siya, no, meron siyang fear, no, kaya binenta na niya yon. Okay, or transfer for insufficient consideration, binenta niya ng palugi. Okay, o kaya naman yung mga transfer with reservation of rights, okay, etc. So these are things that we're going to discuss, no, so that we can compute correctly the gross estate. Ano ba yung kasama dapat dyan? Okay, so first, properties existing at the time of death. Again, we have immovable properties like land or building, okay, tangible personal properties like car, equipment, okay, laptop, okay, etc. We also have intangible personal properties, no, like shares of stock, as what we have discussed a while ago. We have the so-called shares in a publicly listed company, or those shares that are not traded in the public. Even bonds, investment in bonds, these are intangible personal properties. Decedent interest. This refers to the extent of equity or ownership participation of the decedent on any property physically existing and present in the gross estate. So you have, say for example, a property present in the gross estate, then you have the fruits, okay? These are interest of the decedent, whether or not in his possession, control, or dominion. It also refers to the value of any interest in the property owned or possessed by the decedent at the time of his death. Okay? Example again, we have dividends declared before the death but received after death. So, ibig sabihin mga kapatid, yung shares of stock, okay, these are intangible personal property included in the gross estate, but the dividends na hindi mo pa nare-receive, wala ka pang debit cash, credit dividend income, okay, tapos unfortunately, no, the decedent, I should say, unfortunately, nawala na siya. So, this should be included in the decedent's gross estate. Partnership profit, okay? Again, according to Article 1767 of the Civil Code, no? By the contract of partnership, two or more persons bind themselves to contribute money, property, or industry to a common fund for the purpose of dividing profit among themselves. So as a partner, you have share in the profit, okay? Which again, okay, if it accrued before the death of the said, okay, decedent, no? Kasama yan sa kanyang gross estate. But profit after the death, definitely hindi na, because death is one of the modes or causes of dissolution of the said partnership. Usufructuary rights, no? Ibig sabihin nito, class, you have the right to an asset you possess, okay? But you do not own it, okay? Say for example, isinanla lang sa'yo, no? Yung kunyari, a car, no, naka-pledge sa'yo and you are allowed to use it, okay, pagkakitaan mo, so yung mga fruits doon ay kasama, but the car definitely is not yours, so do not include it in the gross estate. O kaya naman naka-mortgage yung lupa, okay, tapos yung mga fruits noon, like in antichrisis, yung mga fruits noon, ikaw ang tatanggap muna. So these are usufructuary rights that are included in the gross estate. Properties transferred gratuitously during lifetime, okay, but in substance transferred upon death. Okay, say for example, the transfer in contemplation of death, the thought of death must be the impelling cause of the transfer. Okay, so dinonate niya, okay, o kaya naman binenta niya, okay, with the idea na mamamatay na siya, at binenta niya at a lower price, or dinonate niya, okay, walang bayad because of contemplating na anyway, di ba, mawawala naman na ako, sabi ni Dissident, kaya dinonate ko na lang prior to the death. But in substance, it should be included in the so-called gross estate. Transfer with retention or reservation of certain right. Okay? Nilipat mo nga, pero ikaw pa rin naman ang gumagamit. Yung title lang ang nilipat mo. Okay? So allows the transferor to continue enjoying or possessing or controlling the property. Okay? So the benefit as the owner, ikaw pa rin. But the title ay nasa ibang tao na. Okay? Because only the naked title has been transferred. Again, according to law on sale, ownership shall be transferred by delivery. Okay? So hindi lang yung deed of sale lang o kaya naman may usapan kayo, no? It should be transferred. It should be possessed by the buyer if any, kung meron man. Kung talagang transfer. Okay? But if there is reservation of certain right, okay, benta ko pero ako muna ang gagamit, benta ko pero ako ang mag-harvest, oy, di kasama sa gross estate mo yan. Revocable transfer. Okay? Decedent transfer the enjoyment of his property to another person subject to his right to revoke the transfer at will. Okay? So kung irrevocable, matatransfer talaga. Kapag ka-revocable naman, pwede palang tanggalin or i-revoke, hindi na ituloy, then okay, there is no transfer of property technically. So kasama yan sa kanyang gross estate with or without notifying the transferee anytime before he dies. Okay? So revocable transfer and property passing under general power of appointment. Kapag sinabing general power of appointment class, anyone, no? Pwede mong i-transfer kahit kanino. Pero pag special power of appointment, you're appointed to transfer to specific person. So ibig sabihin, kung ikaw ang nakatanggap at may SPA ka lang, okay? Hindi ikaw ang designated beneficiary niyan. Ibig sabihin niyan, dumaan lang sa'yo. So you are technically a trustee. Okay? Pinagkatiwala lang sa'yo. Yan. The power of appointment refers to the right to designate a person or persons who will succeed the property of the prior decedent. So technically, kasama yan sa prior decedent's estate. Ang tanong ay kasama ba sa estate nung nakatanggap? Depende. Kung yan ay general power of appointment, kasama. Pag yan ay special power of appointment, hindi kasama sa estate nung nakatanggap. Okay? So take note of that. The power of appointment may be general or special. The power of appointment is general when the power of appointment authorizes the donee of the power to appoint any person he pleases. Okay? Kahit sino, no? Kunyari, si Juan de la Cruz, okay? Transfer niya yung property kay Pedro, and si Pedro may general power of attorney kahit, or appointment, I should say, kahit kanino niya i-deliver or i-transfer succeedingly. Okay? Kasama dapat sa kanyang estate yan. Pero kung special power, okay, Juan de la Cruz, dineliver, transfer kay Pedro, okay, pero si Pedro ay may special power of appointment lang in favor kay Carlo, di dapat kay Carlo lang yung okay, property na yan at kasama sa estate ni Carlo, hindi kasama sa estate nung may SPA. Okay? The power may be exercised in favor of anybody including the donee decedent. Yan. Okay? Ang nagbigay, donor. Ang tumanggap, donee. So pag namatay na si donee, ang tanong, kasama ba sa estate niya o hindi? Depende. Pag GPA, kasama. Kapag SPA, hindi kasama. Ayan. Say for example, mga kapatid, Pedro, the decedent, siya yung unang namatay, devised, okay, his parcel of land. Okay? As follows. To Ana, lipat niya kay Ana, thereafter to anyone. So si Ana has the power to appoint anyone kung sino yung tatanggap pag namatay din si Ana. So ang tawag dyan, general power of appointment. Definitely, the land is included in the gross estate upon death of Pedro. Okay, kasama yun kay Pedro. Okay? Kasi land pa rin niya yun. Nung nilipat niya ngayon kay Ana, si Ana as the first heir, okay? At kung namatay naman siya, mga kapatid, ayan po, no, namatay, it will be included in the gross estate of Ana. Why? Because GPA ang appointment. Hence, subject to estate tax. Okay? And kunyari si Ana naman, nilipat niya kay Lorna, the second heir, then yung nakatanggap, included din naman sa estate din niya. Okay? Nung natanggap niya yung land na yan. Kung mamamatay naman na itong si Lorna subsequently. Ayan. Subject to estate tax. Okay? Definitely sa totoong buhay mga kapatid, okay, kung land yan, mag-appreciate yung value, di ba? Pwedeng tumaas. Okay? Hindi mo siya dinidepreciate, pero possible namang ma-impair, bumaba naman. Di ba? Depende kung anong nangyari doon sa area or doon sa land. Okay? What we are driving at here, class, is that if GPA included, sa Donnie na namatay si Ana, dissident. Donor na namatay Pedro, included din. Si Lorna na second heir ay included din sa kanya. Okay? Components of the gross estate. Special power of appointment. How about if it is special power? It exists when the donee can appoint only from the restricted or designated class of persons other than himself. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng siya. Kaya excluded. So, property transferred under special power of appointment should be excluded, okay, from the gross estate of the donee of the power because, okay, the donee dissident. Kanina, Pedro, donor, Ana, donee. Ana namatay, kaya donee dissident ang tawag sa kanya. Donor, Pedro namatay, donor dissident. Okay? Only holds the property in trust. Kaya pala hindi kasama. Okay? Kung special power of appointment, kasi in trust lang sa kanya. Pinatago lang, pinahiram lang, okay? Pinamanage lang, pero iba talaga ang designated person na eventually tatanggap. Example, ito po. No? Pedro, the donor, okay, dissident, namatay, devised his parcel of land as follows. To Ana, thereafter to Lorna, upon Ana's death. So technically, ang intention niya, ibigay niya kay Lorna. Pero after nang mamatay ni Ana. Yan. So si Ana, as the donee, pag namatay siya, dissident, itatransfer naman niya kay Lorna. Ang tanong, kasama ba sa estate na gross estate ni Pedro? Yes, included. Okay? Subject to tax, estate tax. Nung nilipat niya kay Ana, with special power of appointment, kasama ba? Uy, sabi ng batas, excluded in the gross estate because Ana is just acting as a trustee or fiduciary of Lorna. Okay? The parcel of land is not intended for Ana. Okay? So, sinong dapat na mag-include sa kanyang gross estate nung natanggap mula kay Pedro? It should be the intended heir, the beneficiary of Pedro. And in this case, it is Lorna. Okay? So, pag namatay naman si Lorna, kasama sa gross estate niya and subject to estate tax. Ganyan po under special power of appointment and compare it to the general power of appointment. One of the following donations is not included as part of the gross estate. Revocable transfer. Okay, so pwedeng bawiin, kasama yan sa estate. Transfer with reservation of certain rights, kasama yan sa gross estate. Transfer under special power of appointment, uy, teka lang. Transfer in contemplation of debt, I should say, it should also be included in the estate. Pero yung transfer under special power of appointment, kung general, included. Kanino? Kay donee dissident. Okay? Kay donor dissident, lagi namang included sa kanya. Okay? Transfer under special power of appointment, kay donor dissident, included. Pero kay donee dissident, na trustee lang. Okay? Fiduciary. No? Pinahawak, pinamanage siya sa kanya. Iba yung intended. Okay? Natatanggap dapat. So, hindi kasama sa gross estate nung tinatawag natin na donee dissident. Okay, letter C ang tamang sagot. Okay, let's proceed to 25. Okay. Statement number 1. Aguinaldo devised in his will a piece of land, naked title to Bonifacio. So yung title from Aguinaldo, binigay niya kay Bonifacio. And the usufruct, yung paggamit ng property ng land, si Rizal. So si Rizal ang gumagamit, ang owner sa title si Bonifacio. Okay, so magkaiba. Na yun. Thereafter, okay, to Bonifacio kung namatay na si Rizal. The transmission from Aguinaldo to Bonifacio and Rizal is subject to estate tax. Definitely, tama po, no? Subject to estate tax kasi si Aguinaldo, siya yung donor. Property niya yan eh. So kasama, si donor decedent, kasama sa gross estate niya, yung property na dinevise niya. Definitely. Ang tanong, kay Bonifacio na may naked title at kay Rizal na may usufruct, paano pag namatay si Rizal? But the merger, ibig sabihin, magiging iisa na lang, no? Of the usufruct and naked title, iisa na lang ang magiging may-ari, okay, ng paggamit, okay, possession and use, and the title to Bonifacio upon death of Rizal is exempt. And this statement is correct. This statement is true because merger of usufruct, okay, and naked title is exempt from estate tax. Hindi siya sinasama sa gross estate ni Rizal. Yan. Okay? So that's one. For number 2, Erap devised in his will a real property to his brother Alfredo. Okay? Who is entrusted with the obligation to preserve again and transmit the property to Isko. So sino si Isko? Siya yung designated beneficiary. Okay? Sino si Alfredo? Siya po yung may special power of appointment. Ayan. Okay? So pinahawak lang, preserve eh. Hindi naman niya sinabing pwede mong ibigay kahit kanino. No? So kumbaga, si Isko, the son of Alfredo, okay? Siya po ang designated na beneficiary. So special power of appointment, hence the transmission from Alfredo to his son, Isko is subject to tax. Teka lang, sabi natin kanina, kung kay Erap, donor decedent included sa gross estate. Okay? Pagdating kay Alfredo, trustee lang siya, fiduciary. Okay? Then, hindi included kay Alfredo yung tinatawag natin na property. Okay? If transfer na niya kay Isko. Okay? But Isko, if ever naman na siya ay maging decedent, kasama na sa kanya, included na yung tinatawag natin na land sa kanyang gross estate. Okay? So letter A ang tamang sagot. Only statement 1 is correct. Another component of gross estate is the transfer for insufficient consideration. Okay? Sale of property below fair market value. The step no in determining whether you have to include it in the gross estate or not is you compare first yung proceeds consideration received by the seller and the market value at the time of sale. Okay? So, magkano natanggap, magkano yung selling price. Okay? Kung yung natanggap ay mas mataas or equal sa selling price, then it's a valid sale. Kung valid sale, hindi po dapat kasama sa gross estate yan. Kasi may valid transfer of ownership. Ayan. Kung mas mababa yung proceeds, consideration na natanggap ng seller kesa doon sa market value niya or price at the time of sale, then that is a transfer for insufficient consideration. Kulang. The next step is, magkano dapat ang idagdag mo doon sa estate. Ang i-compare mo na ngayon from proceeds ay yung fair market value ng property at the time of death. Kumbaga, nag-appreciate na yung value eh. So, yun ang additional included sa gross estate. Okay? So, we have here, amount included in the gross estate is the fair market value at the time of death less the selling price or proceeds. Okay? Yan ang idadagdag mo sa gross estate. Again, class, no? The first thing that you have to check, number 1, is to compare, no, the proceeds versus Okay? The fair market value at the time of sale. Yan. Okay? Ngayon, kung sakali po na insufficient, mas mababa kasi ano. So this proceed is less than, so this is transfer for insufficient consideration, then the next step is, okay, compare, no? The fair market value at the time of death minus the proceeds. The excess is added to the gross estate. Yan. Okay? Sir, bakit yung excess lang? Bakit hindi yung fair market value? Syempre, natanggap mo na yung pera noon eh. Okay? Kasama yan as part of your tangible property. Yan. So yung difference lang. Take note of that. Okay? So that is for letter E, the transfer for insufficient consideration. So we have here the summary. Okay? Consideration is greater or less than the fair market value at the time of transfer or sale. It's a valid sale, then excluded from the gross estate. If the consideration is less than at the time of sale, okay, versus the fair market value, it is insufficient consideration. And include in the gross estate the excess of fair market value at the time of death over the consideration received. Yung proceeds na tanggap versus yung fair market value at the time of death. However, okay, meron po tayong tinatawag na fictitious sale. Okay? Pag sinabing fictitious sale, absolutely, okay, simulated sale. Okay? Absolutely. Wala po, gawa-gawa lang yung benta. Wala ngang ibinayad eh. Okay? Simulated, fictitious. Okay? Ayan. So kapag ganyan, include in the gross estate the entire fair market value at the time of death. Kasi wala ka namang natanggap eh. So ibig sabihin mga kapatid, at the time of death, dapat sa'yo pa rin yung property na yun. Gumawa lang sila ng deed of sale para maiwasan, di ba? Say for example, may nagki-claim na creditor o para hindi makuha ng creditor, eh yung property na yun, ibenta ko na lang sa'yo. O kaya naman, iwasan ang estate tax. Di ba? Pero, syempre, meron kang ibang tax na babayaran. Capital gains tax naman. Okay? So, these are fictitious in a sense na magkakaroon tayo ng okay, lower gross estate. So, dapat idagdag mo. Yan. So, no consideration received, either donation inter vivos or donation mortis causa. Yan. Kung wala namang ibinayad. Kaya nga gratuitous transfer naman yan. Okay? Transfer for insufficient consideration, case number 1. The fair market value at the time of transfer, it is 1 million. Proceeds, 1 million, equal lang at the time of death. So you don't need to compare this. Okay? Kasi hindi na po, no? Kumbaga, equal naman eh. There is a valid sale. Okay? So ang sagot dapat natin dito will be 0. Yan. Wala pong idadagdag. Sa case number 2, uy, yung proceed ko, 800. Yung transfer fair market value, 1 million. This is transfer for insufficient consideration. So the difference now, isasama ko siya, 400. Okay? Ang kasama dapat dito sa gross estate. Case number 3, uy, fair market value, 1 million. Proceeds, uy, 800. So there is a transfer for insufficient consideration. Unfortunately, nung time of death, ang fair market value na niya is mas mababa, kaya wala na, 0. Hindi siya negative 300. 0 lang yan. Wala kang idadagdag. Hindi mo babawasan ang gross estate. Case number 4, the transfer is 1 million. Okay? The fair market value at the time of transfer. While the proceed is 1.2. O, kumita pa siya dyan. Okay? So this is not a transfer for insufficient consideration. Kaya wala tayong additional sa estate. So wag mo nang pansinin yung appreciation ng value because that's a valid sale. Kung valid sale, ang owner na ay yung nakatanggap, yung bumili. Vendee. So kung vendee ay owner na, hindi na ikaw as the decedent, wag mong isama sa gross estate mo yan. While in case number 5, if it is 1 million ang value at the time of transfer, but the transfer is fictitious, gawa-gawa lang, then you are still the owner, kaya isama mo ang fair market value at the time of death. So this is 1.2 million. Yan. Okay? So ganyan po mga kapatid, ano? And our answer mga kapatid for this particular activity, no? To determine kung magkano ay ito po. Yan. Okay? 0, 400,000, 0, 0, and 1.2 million. Pedro, a dissident, owns property valued at 1.5 million at the time of his death. The said property was sold by Pedro during his lifetime to Juan for 700,000. So this is the proceeds, 700,000. When its value was 1.2 million. So definitely there is a transfer for insufficient consideration. Lugi siya ng 500,000. So kung lugi siya, may transfer for insufficient consideration, then you have to compare this with 1.5. Kaya ang isdadagdag natin for estate tax purposes, how much will be included in the gross estate? It is 800,000. Okay? Ayan po, no? The fair market value is 1.5. Consideration at the time of transfer, 700. The excess is 800 included in the gross estate. Based on the preceding number, if the fair market value of the property at the time of death is only 600, syempre lang namang mag-negative 100,000 ka dyan or 200,000, di ba? So, 0 tayo dyan. Wala tayong idadagdag. Okay? Ayan po. Okay, so ayan po, no? Vlad died on October 20, 2018 during his lifetime upon knowing that he had stage 4 cancer. Sold this Lamborghini car. So, kung titingnan natin, possible na transfer in contemplation of death. Diba? Kaya binentan lang niya yung Lamborghini. Pero tignan mo muna. Okay? Baka naman, no? Baka naman mas kumita pa siya nung binenta niya yan. To his son, for 4 million. Okay? The fair market value of the car at the time of sale is 3 million. So kumita siya ng 1 million. Okay? While it is already valued at 5 million at the time of death. Kapag ganyan class, i-compare mo itong dalawa, wala po tayong transfer for insufficient consideration. Wala din tayong transfer, okay, in contemplation of debt na idadagdag mo pa sa gross estate. No. The amount will be added to gross estate is none. Nil. Wala kang idadagdag. Okay, so ganyan po mga kapatid. Based on the preceding number, if the consideration is fictitious, how much will form part of the gross estate? Definitely class, no? Kung fictitious, it is the value at the time of death. 5 million ang sagot natin. Okay, so ganyan po, no? How about proceeds, no, from life insurance? Okay? So the following are included in the gross estate, no? If the proceeds, okay, from life insurance, revocable ang designation ng beneficiary, okay? Definitely included siya sa estate ng, okay, decedent, okay? And included sa estate naman ng administrator and executor as well as the third party. If it's irrevocable, okay, we have here included, but excluded as to the third party. Ayan. That's with regard to the proceeds from life insurance, no? Pero kung ang proceeds, mga kapatid, ay from retirement benefit sa SSS, GSIS, hindi siya kasama. Okay, ito po, insurance policy. Which of the following life insurance proceeds shall not be included in the computation of gross estate? So is it A, beneficiary is the estate, executor, or administrator, and designation of the beneficiary is revocable? Okay, included yan mga kapatid, no? Ayan, beneficiary is the estate, administrator, or executor, okay, or third party, no? Ang tatanggap, no? Revocable ang designation, included lahat. If the estate mismo ang beneficiary na paghahatian din ng mga heirs, or administrator or executor in behalf definitely of the decedent, kaya included pa rin sa gross estate. Okay? Pero ito naman class, excluded kung third party at irrevocable ang designation. So again, we have here beneficiaries the estate and irrevocable kasama. Beneficiaries estate, executor, administrator, revocable kasama. Beneficiary is other third party than the estate pero revocable kasama. Beneficiary is other than the estate but it is irrevocable. Oy, ito na po. Letter D ang tamang sagot. Okay? So, we have here insurance, no? The insurer like AXA, Sun Life, no? PruLife, okay? Ay pwede po niyang i-assume ang risk of loss nung insured. Okay, yung nagpa-insure, no? Pwedeng life insurance, pwedeng non-life insurance. Kung life insurance, okay, syempre, pwede pong variable ang insurance contract or pwede naman class na yung usual na contract ng insurance na kapag namatay ang insured, merong designated beneficiary. Okay? Na kung saan babayaran ni insurance company yung beneficiary na yon at ang ibibigay niya is the proceeds. Okay? Juan de la Cruz, pag namatay ka, okay, may tatanggapin yung beneficiaries mo na 1 million. Ay ganun ba? Bakit? Kasi magbabayad ka naman kay insurance ng premium. Okay. Pwede bang i-designate ko yung kapatid ko? Pwede. Yan. Revocable? Pwede. Irrevocable? Pwede. Yan. Pwede bang i-designate ko yung estate ko? Pwede. Administrator, executor? Pwede. Revocable? Kasama. Irrevocable? Kasama. Yan. Pero kung third party, kapatid ko, hindi siya estate, hindi siya executor, hindi rin siya administrator, hindi in behalf sa akin as the decedent, sabi ni Juan de la Cruz, no? Third person, dyan mo alamin. Revocable ba? Kung oo, pwede mo palang bawiin, isama mo sa gross estate. Pag irrevocable, ang tatanggap ng proceed, hindi mo pwedeng bawiin, kaya dun na mismo pupunta kay irrevocable designated beneficiary. So sino nang magmamay-ari ng proceed? Doon sa beneficiary, hindi ikaw. Yan. Kaya dito, the summary again is excluded sa iyong gross estate, Juan de la Cruz, kung yung third party na dinesignate mo ay irrevocable. Yan. Okay, that's for number 30. Okay, so let us proceed to exclusions from the gross estate. The exemptions and exclusions of the properties, no, from the gross estate are as follows, no, as provided in Section 85 of the NIRC, the National Internal Revenue Code. Properties outside the Philippines of a non-resident alien dissident. Okay, so kapag NRA, na-discuss naman na natin ito, dapat yung mga within the Philippines lang ang included. Another is intangible personal property in the Philippines of NRA na naman when reciprocity applies. Na-discuss na natin yan. And capital or exclusive property of the surviving spouse. Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag class na, okay, absolute community, conjugal partnership, or exclusive. Yan, exclusive. So kung exclusive property niya, hindi kasama yan sa decedent's gross estate. Kahit sabihin natin may share of the surviving spouse. So pag exclusive, hindi kasama. That is excluded. Pero kapag common, conjugal, or absolute community, kasama muna bago mo tanggalin yung share ng surviving spouse. Kaya ito po yun, mga kapatid, no? Exclusive ng decedent plus common ng decedent at saka ng spouse. Total. Pag tinotal mo, tsaka mo tanggalin yung share ng surviving spouse sa common lang, mga kapatid, dito. Sa common lang. Yan. Okay? So yung exclusive ni decedent kasama sa estate, yung common ni decedent at saka spouse kasama sa estate, tsaka mo tanggalin yung share ng surviving spouse. Okay? And less the deductions, no? Allowable deductions, ordinary special deductions, and the net taxable estate subject to 6% tax rate to get the tax due minus tax credit to get the tax payable. Again, so this is the format, okay, in case the decedent is married. Another exemption class, as what we have discussed kanina, dun sa Bonifacio, Aguinaldo, at saka Rizal, exempted no merger of usufruct, right to use, in the owner of naked title. Si Bonifacio ang owner ng naked title, si Rizal ang usufruct. Okay? May usufruct. Okay? At iyan po ay nag-merge nung namatay si Rizal, then exempt doon sa gross estate. Transmission or delivery of inheritance or legacy of a fiduciary heir or legatee to the fideicommisary. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong fiduciary nakatrust lang ulit sa kanya. Okay? Parang ganito po yung concept eh. Si Juan de la Cruz, papamanahan niya si Pedro. Pero ilalagay niya doon sa mana niya, sa device niya, o kaya naman sa legacy niya, na Pedro, tanggapin mo to, i-preserve mo to, alagaan mo tong property, at ibigay mo rin sa anak mo na apo ko, si Carlo. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, dumaan lang ulit kay Pedro. So, ibig sabihin, excluded sa gross estate ng tinatawag nating fiduciary. Kung kanina, ang term natin is doni dissident. Ito naman, fiduciary. Okay? Transmission from first heir, legatee or doni in favor of another beneficiary in accordance with the will of the predecessor. Yan din yung diniscuss natin kanina. Okay? All bequest, devices, legacy, or transfer to social welfare, cultural, and charitable institutions. So, kumbaga parang nag-donate ka, okay, sa mga institution na to na accredited dapat. Okay? So, hindi lahat ng charity works mo ay pwedeng excluded. May qualification. Accredited dapat, and no part of the income of the said institution inure to the benefit of the individual. Okay? So, kaya nga dapat non-profit. Ayan. Not more than 30% of the transfer yung dinonate mo shall be used for administration purpose. So, yan yung mga requirement para maging exempt or excluded doon sa gross estate. Okay? Not more than 30%. So the first three enumerated exclusions have common requisite. Number one, there must be two transmission. Okay? Yung unang donor, napunta sa fiduciary, napunta sa fideicommisary. Yung unang donor, napunta sa trustee or fiduciary, papunta sa designated beneficiary. Ayan. Okay? Ito po yun, yung tatlo, no? Ayan. Tapos, yung donor, napunta sa usufructuary, okay? Then, napunta sa naked title. Ayan. Yung may ownership ng naked title. So dito, the first three enumerated exclusions have common requisite. They are the following. First, there must be two transmissions of the same property. Second, the transfer from prior decedent must be testamentary in character. And the first transfer is subject to estate tax, while the second transfer is exempt. So yung nasa gitna po yung exempt. Okay? So yung donor, decedent, kasama sa gross estate niya. Yung doni, decedent, exempt. Example, merger of usufruct in the owner of naked title. Here we have Pedro devised his parcel of land as follows. Naked ownership to Lorna and usufruct to Ana. Parang si Rizal at saka si Bonifacio kanina. As long as Ana live. Kung titignan nyo, kasama sa gross estate ni Pedro. Nung namatay si Pedro, papunta kay Ana, okay? Hindi kasama kay Ana kasi siya po ay usufructuary lang. Ownership ay naka-reserve kay Lorna. So ang tatanggap at kasama sa estate ay yung may title. Pero yung usufructuary, siya po ay trustee lang, no? Gagamit lang ng property. Yan. And nung namatay na po itong si Ana, then ita-transfer niya kay Lorna, kasama na sa gross estate ni Lorna yan. Okay, the intended owner of the land with naked title. Okay, so that is for merger of usufruct in the owner of the naked title. So sino po ang madadagdagan sa gross estate? The donor at saka yung may naked title. Okay, donor, naked title. Yung nasa gitna, kumbaga dumaan lang sa kanya. Hindi kasama sa gross estate niya. Sino yung nasa gitna? Si Ana, doni decedent. Pedro, how about special power? Na-discuss na natin to kanina. No? Special power kay Pedro to Ana, thereafter to Lorna upon death of Ana. So specified na ang tatanggap second beneficiary ay si Lorna. Okay? So included sa gross estate ni Pedro, excluded kay Ana kasi dumaan lang ulit sa kanya, not under general power of appointment but special power. Siya po ay acting lang as trustee or fiduciary. The intended beneficiary is of the Pedro is Lorna. Kaya siya ang intended beneficiary, siya ang magiging may-ari, then plus sa kanyang gross estate. Ganun na lang para madali nating tandaan mga kapatid. Ikaw ba eventually ang magiging may-ari? Kung oo, plus sa gross estate mo. Ikaw ba yung pinanggalingan? Kung oo, at ikaw ba yung dating may-ari? Kung oo, plus sa gross estate mo. Ikaw ba yung pinanggalingan pero hindi ikaw ang may-ari kasi ikaw ay trustee lang, fiduciary lang? Okay? Special power of appointment lang. Kung oo, excluded ka doon. And another transfer na excluded, transmission of inheritance from fiduciary to fideicommissary. Okay, paano po ba yung fideicommissary? Okay? Example, si Pedro namatay, devised his parcel of land as follows: to Ana, thereafter to her daughter. Ibig sabihin, class, alagaan mo lang as the trustee, fiduciary, okay? Take care of the property, but eventually, ibibigay mo yan sa apo ko. Yan. Si Lorna. Yan. So, the intended beneficiary again is the fideicommissary. So, dalawa, kumbaga, ang tinatawag nating succession dito. Dalawa. No? Okay? We have here Pedro, namatay, kasama sa gross estate niya. Nung nilipat niya kay Ana, first heir fiduciary, hindi kasama. Kasi hindi siya yung intended beneficiary, hindi siya yung magiging owner. Okay? Definitely, ito ay acting lang as fiduciary or the so-called trustee. Then, the fideicommissary, yung second, okay, succession ay meron na pong transfer of ownership. Meron ng intended beneficiary of Pedro kasama na sa kanyang gross estate. So, tatlo po yun mga kapatid ha. SPA, okay, intrust, fideicommissary. Okay? So ito po yun. Or merger, I should say, merger of title and usufructuary. Ito po, merger. Okay? Ito po ay usufructuary lang ang hawak mo, wala sa yung title. Nung nag-merge na, sa kanya na, siya ang kasama. Included, I should say, sa gross estate niya. Ito naman, intrust or fiduciary lang. May intended beneficiary. Okay? Special power. Kay special power, excluded. Pag general power, included. And fideicommissary ang magiging eventually owner. So, kay fiduciary or trustee, parang agent lang siya, excluded sa kanya yung tinatawag natin na property. Okay. Additional exemptions and exclusions from gross estate under special law, proceeds of life insurance, as I have mentioned, from GSIS, from SSS, yung mga pension, no? Hindi kasama yan, hindi siya taxable. Okay? Amount received from Philippine and US government war damages, these are not taxable, yung mga pension, yung mga veterans, no? Siyempre, imagine naman, no, pinaghirapan mo yan. Okay? Okay, naghulog-hulog ka, pension, okay? GSIS, SSS, kaltas sa sweldo mo. So, nung nakatanggap ka ng proceed, wag mo naman nang idagdag sa gross estate as definitely, okay, protected by Republic Act. Okay? Same with war damages and yung mga pension from US Veterans Administration. As additional, okay, benefit received from Philippine-US government from or for damages suffered during World War II, yung compensation, hindi kasama. Retirement benefit of official employees of a private firm. So yung mga retirement natin, no, hindi kasama sa gross estate. Payment from Philippine of US government to the legal heirs of the deceased of the World War II veterans. And PERA. PERA stands for Personal Equity Retirement Account, asset of the dissident contributor. Okay, under Section 14 of RA 9505. These are special laws granting exemptions or exclusions from the gross estate. So kung nakatanggap ka ng pera galing dyan, wag mong isama sa gross estate kasi hindi siya subject sa tax. The list provided below is not included in the gross estate of the decedent except share in the common property of the surviving spouse. Nakita natin kanina class dun sa format, kasama ang common. Ang hindi kasama ay exclusive. Okay? So letter A ang exemptions. Ayan. So included siya. Ang tinatanong dito yung included eh. Not included, except. So yung included. Property outside the Philippines of non-resident alien, hindi po kasama. Intangible personal property of a non-resident when rule of reciprocity applies, hindi rin kasama. Kahit na located siya sa Philippines. Na-discuss na natin to last time. Okay? This ends our discussion with regard to estate tax part 3, the inclusions and exclusions in estate taxation. So our next topic will be the allowable deductions, ordinary and special deductions in estate taxation.